Kojo began noticing Abena differently, and Abena found herself drawn to the way Kojo carried himself. Neither of them fully understood what was happening, but they both felt it, a shift in their bond, something new and unfamiliar. In the heart of Accra, two families lived in the same upscale neighborhood, bound by a lifelong friendship. Mr. Kwabena, a successful entrepreneur, had two daughters, Abena and Akosua, while his brother, Mr. Agyeman, a respected lawyer, had two sons, Kojo and Kwesi. The four cousins were inseparable, growing up more like siblings than extended family. Their childhood was filled with laughter, video games, beach trips, and late-night storytelling. They attended the same private school, spent weekends at each other's homes, and made secret plans to explore the world together. Theirs was a bond built on the simplicity of childhood, untainted by the complexities of adulthood. But as the years passed, change crept in. Abena, the eldest among them, had always been the most curious. She had an insatiable desire to understand things beyond what was explained to her. One day, that curiosity would lead her down an unexpected path, forever altering the course of her life and those closest to her. Among them, Abena and Kojo shared an unbreakable connection. Born just weeks apart, they were partners in every adventure, from coding projects at school to sneaking into the kitchen to make midnight snacks. They confided in each other about their fears, dreams, and secrets, promising to always have each other's backs. As they reached their teenage years, subtle changes began to take place. Abena, once carefree and energetic, started paying attention to how she dressed. She admired influencers on social media, experimenting with makeup tutorials and fashion trends. Kojo, on the other hand, had grown taller, his voice deepening as he became more involved in basketball and robotics club. Their playful conversations evolved into deeper discussions about the future, relationships, and the pressure of expectations. They still spent time together, but something unspoken lingered between them. Kojo began noticing Abena differently, and Abena found herself drawn to the way Kojo carried himself. Neither of them fully understood what was happening, but they both felt it, a shift in their bond, something new and unfamiliar. One evening, as Abena scrolled through her phone, she overheard her parents discussing something in hushed tones. Their serious expressions piqued her curiosity. She wanted to understand the world beyond school, beyond family gatherings, beyond the bubble she had always known. She tried asking her mother, but each question was met with vague responses. "You'll understand when you're older," her mother always said. But Abena didn't want to wait. She turned to Kojo, the one person who had always been as curious as she was. "Have you ever wondered about the things adults don't tell us?" she asked him during lunch at school. Kojo shrugged. "Sometimes. But I think they just don't want us to worry about things before we need to." Abena wasn't satisfied. "I want to know more. Maybe we can find out ourselves." Kojo hesitated but agreed. Their search for answers had begun, but neither of them realized that some questions led to answers they were not yet ready for. Over the next few weeks, Abena and Kojo became more observant. They paid closer attention to conversations around them, tried to decipher the expressions of adults, and even browsed articles and blogs about life, responsibilities, and the transition to adulthood. One afternoon, they decided to ask their grandfather, Nana-Osei, known for his wisdom and calm demeanor. "Grandpa, what does it mean to become an adult?" Abena asked boldly. Nana-Osei chuckled. "Adulthood isn't just about age, my children. It's about responsibility, wisdom, and patience. You must understand that knowledge comes when you are ready for it." His words left them thoughtful. They had expected a straightforward answer, but instead, they received a lesson in patience. That evening, as they sat on the rooftop of Kojo's house, looking at the city lights, Kojo turned to Abena. "Maybe Grandpa is right. Maybe some things are best learned with time." Abena sighed. Maybe. But I still want to know. Little did they know, their desire for understanding would soon lead them on a journey filled with lessons they never expected. The annual community gala was approaching, and the entire neighborhood was buzzing with excitement. Families prepared traditional dishes, business owners hosted charity events, and influencers attended to promote local brands. Abena and Kojo looked forward to the gala every year. It was a time of joy, laughter, and endless networking opportunities. As the day arrived, Abena dressed in an elegant blue dress, her hair styled in sleek waves. Kojo wore a tailored suit, looking sharp and confident. The event began with speeches, music, and cultural performances. Cameras flashed as celebrities and dignitaries walked through the venue. As they enjoyed the evening, Abena and Kojo noticed something unusual. A group of executives stood in a circle, speaking in hushed tones. Curiosity got the better of them, and they moved closer to listen. The conversation was about power, influence, and the hidden struggles of success. Abena turned to Kojo, her eyes full of determination. We need to learn more about this world. Maybe it holds the answers we've been looking for. Kojo hesitated, glancing at the lively crowd. Are you sure? This is supposed to be a time of celebration. Abena's curiosity was stronger than ever. I have a feeling this will change everything. Little did they know, the truth they were about to uncover would shape their futures in ways they never imagined. The morning after the gala, Abena and Kojo decided to visit Nana Ose again. This time, they were determined to ask about the realities of adulthood in detail. They found him in his study, surrounded by books, sipping his morning tea. Nana, last night at the gala, we overheard something about power and influence. What does it really mean to be successful? Kojo asked. Nana Ose studied them for a moment before speaking. Success is more than wealth or fame. It is about balance, integrity, and understanding your place in the world. Many chase riches but lose themselves in the process. True fulfillment comes when you know who you are and stay true to that. Abena leaned forward. But how do we know what's right for us? Nana Ose smiled. You must find that answer yourselves. Start by listening, observing, and learning. In time, the truth will reveal itself. Abena and Kojo exchanged glances. They had hoped for a direct answer, but instead, they received another lesson in patience. Yet, deep inside, they knew this was only the beginning of their journey toward understanding life's greatest lessons. After their conversation with Nana Ose, Abena and Kojo decided to take his advice seriously. They started paying more attention to the decisions their parents made, observing how success was not just about wealth but also about integrity and responsibility. Abena, who had always been drawn to the world of business, began shadowing her father in his work. She attended meetings with him, took notes, and even asked questions about the intricacies of managing a company. Kojo, on the other hand, found himself intrigued by the impact of technology and innovation. He joined a mentorship program that connected young minds with industry leaders. His mentor, a renowned software developer, challenged him to think critically about how he could use his skills to create solutions that would benefit society. As the weeks went by, they began to see the world differently. The gala, which once seemed like a glamorous event filled with celebrities and power, now appeared as a networking hub where real change could be initiated. They understood that success was not about gaining influence overnight but about consistent effort and learning from those who had walked the path before them. One afternoon, while browsing through a financial report in her father's study, Abena came across a troubling discovery. One of her father's business partners was involved in unethical practices that could harm the company's reputation. She felt a dilemma brewing inside her. Should she confront her father or let it go, assuming he already knew? She decided to talk to Kojo. They sat down in their favorite rooftop spot and discussed the situation. What if he already knows? Kojo asked. Maybe it's something he's handling privately. But what if he doesn't? If this gets exposed later, it could destroy everything he's built, Abena replied. After much deliberation, they agreed that Abena should talk to her father directly. That evening, she nervously approached him. "Dad, I came across something today," she began, showing him the report. "Is this something we should be concerned about?" Her father's face darkened as he read through the document. After a moment of silence, he sighed. "I've been suspicious for a while, but I didn't have solid proof. Thank you for bringing this to my attention, Abena." That moment solidified something within her. She wasn't just a curious child anymore. She was someone who could contribute, someone whose voice mattered. In the months that followed, Abena and Kojo continued growing into their newfound understanding of success and responsibility. Abena's father took swift action against his corrupt business partner, ensuring his company remained ethical. Kojo launched a small initiative with his mentor, teaching coding to underprivileged students. At their next family gathering, Nanarose looked at them with pride. "You see? Wisdom is not given, it is earned through experience," he said with a smile. Abena and Kojo exchanged knowing glances. They had started this journey with a simple curiosity about adulthood, and now they were stepping into it with purpose. Their perspectives had changed, but one thing remained constant: their thirst for knowledge and their unwavering support for each other. As they watched the sunset from their rooftop, Abena turned to Kojo. "This is just the beginning, isn't it?" Kojo smiled. "Yes, and I can't wait to see where it takes us next." Success is not defined by wealth or power alone, but by integrity, wisdom, and the willingness to learn from experience. Abena and Kojo's journey teaches us that curiosity, when guided by responsibility and ethical choices, leads to meaningful growth. True fulfillment comes not from quick gains but from patience, knowledge, and the courage to do what is right. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. Let us know what lesson stood out to you the most. See you in the next story.